Hi there, everyone. Welcome to week three's reading at the end of your learning for each day. This week we are continuing on with our Guardians of the Planet book, and we are going on to the next couple of chapters for this one. This week is going to be focusing quite a lot on the different types of pollution, so we can educate ourselves as to what that is, and again some little bits of solutions that we can do as guardians to help us protect the planet. Okay, so we are going to look at today remarkable and renewables. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is have a quick look at the pictures on that page, because it might give you a bit of a clue as to what it means by remarkable and renewables. This is all quite new technology. We did talk about it last week. You can see there what looks like little fans spinning around in the sea, that they're actually called wind farms, and they generate a lot of electricity and are really, really important. You might see some like that when you go to the seaside, and there are more and more that are happening, that are being made every year, because they are so important. So, remarkable renewables. Renewable energies are natural sources of energy which do not get used up like fossil fuels and have less environmental impact. Some of the energy in your home might already come from renewable sources, and they are becoming increasingly important. For example, more than 70 times the amount of electricity was generated by wind power, such as your wind farms, in 2017 than in 1997. Now, that has a lot to do with our education, so knowing more about it. Also has to do with the technology that we've got, and the fact that we've got more now because we've got the technology. That then affects the amount of energy that we can produce, which is brilliant. So what's up with waves? The power of the ocean's tides and waves can be used to create energy. Companies have found it hard to build machines that can harness wave energy. So harness, it means keep wave energy or use it the best it can be in large amounts, but there are some successful tidal power schemes. This Siwaha Lake tidal power station in South Korea is the world's largest. It can produce up to 254 million watts of electricity, which is massive. Wind has been used for centuries as well to turn windmills and grind grain into flour. Today, turbines also use the wind to power as power generators. That means to make power. Large wind farms can produce enough energy to run 300,000 homes. In 2017, Denmark produced 43% of its energy using wind power, saving large amounts of resources and reducing air pollution. So when we said about all those fossil fuels making the air really dirty, and again when we said about those harmful gases that are making it too hot in our countries, then animals are dying and around the world. However, because winds die down, turbines can't guarantee power around the clock. So when you have a really windy day, they can produce lots of power, but when we've got a day that's not very windy, that's going to be a bit difficult then, isn't it, to have all that power. That's why you find a lot of the wind farms are either on really tall hills where they're not sheltered, or they are in the sea, again, where there isn't any shelter, so they can get the most of the wind possible. Okay, energy from the earth. The geothermal energy is hot underground. In hot underground rocks can be used to warm buildings or power generators. Cold water is pumped into a system of underground pipes to absorb heat and send hot water or steam back to the surface. Iceland has lots of hot rocks underground, so nearly 90% of its homes are heated by geothermal energy. However, only some countries have enough geothermal energy that can be used easily. Because again, it's very expensive and it's only in certain countries that you can use it in. So even though we've got all this technology, which is great, have we yet found one that we can really rely on? Okay, so super solar. So now we're talking about the sun, the energy we can get from the sun. Energy from the sun can also be harnessed in several ways to heat homes. create energy, and even to cook food. And I imagine you can see on there, you would have seen lots of those, and they're called solar panels that are on that page there. And you see lots and lots of houses now, especially new ones that have solar panels in them. Using sunlight. In some isolated communities in hot countries, sunlight is used to dry out food, to preserve it, or may be used to power a solar oven by cooking. Some homes may also use the sun's energy to heat water in pipes without burning oil or coal or using electricity. Powerful panels. Solar panels contain electronic circuits which convert sunlight into electricity. A 1 meter square solar panel can produce 150 watts of power without creating any pollution at all, and it can last for over 25 years. Over 1.8 million homes and businesses in Australia use solar panels, and we know why solar panels we best use there is because it's a lot sunnier than it is in this country. The only problem is that the panels need plenty of sunlight to operate well, and that's the problem as well. When I looked at it, it was very, very expensive, and you had to have a house that was facing the sun at all times to get the most out of it, to get the most energy out of it. So again, there are some negatives to that one. So, to make a solar oven. Warm up food in your own solar oven to see the power that renewables can unleash firsthand. So, this is what you can do. Make 3 cuts along the lid of a shoebox from the edge to form a flap. Cover the inside of the flap and box with aluminium foils like tin foil, keeping the foil smooth. Tape a sheet of black card where your food will sit. This will absorb heat and help to cook your snack. Cover the opening in the lid, made by you cutting the flap, with 2 or 3 layers of cling film. This lets sunlight into the box but traps the heat inside, so I bet it gets a bit wet inside. Prop the flap open with a stick. Place your oven in direct sunlight on a sunny day for at least 30 minutes to preheat. After 30 minutes, open the lid, the part with the cling film on it, and place your food inside. A slice of cold pizza or marshmallows work very well. Close the lid, prop the flap open again with the stick, and wait. Check every 10 to 15 minutes until your food is warm. Super. Okay. So, that is quite a quick one because the next session that we are going to look at is air pollution and transport trouble. So we've got a couple of solutions there for energy, but we've not got one yet that can replace all of the other fossil fuels. So unfortunately, people still do use them. So just to recap, we do have the wave energy, but again, has to be based in certain places. You've got wind energy. Great, but if you've not got very windy days, it's not very good. You've got this solar energy from the sun. That is also great, and we can use it more. We've seen it more in houses, but it's very expensive to put in your house. And you've got to have a house that has got a lot of sun. And you've got to be in a country that has a lot of sun to make it work the best it can do. And unfortunately, not everywhere in the world has as much sun as places like Australia. So you can see the solution to less pollution seems to be easy to begin with, but actually is quite difficult. So we need to think of some solutions that we can make to help. Is it a combination of them all? Do we do all of them all together? So we are going to look at tomorrow, looking at air pollution. This is all the bad stuff that's put into the air when we use fossil fuels, and also transport trouble and what they're doing. Like I said last week about going electric with cars, maybe we're going to have a look at that as well. Okay. Right, everyone. Thank you for joining me on Monday of week 3. Hope you are all well and keeping safe and you are doing your home learning. And I will see you all tomorrow.